Okay, I'd like to call the zoning board of appeals meeting of Wednesday, April 5th, 2023 to order at 7:10 PM. So our first and only thing on the agenda is a public hearing for Michael, is it Crozier? Crozier at 16 Brookside Drive, case number 2023-06. It doesn't say where this was advertised. Oh, it was advertised in the Worcester Telegram and Gazette. The Town of Douglas Zoning Board of Appeals will hold a public hearing beginning at 7 PM on Wednesday, April 5th of 2023 in the Douglas Municipal Center, 29 Depot Street, Douglas, Mass. to hear the following application. Michael Crozier is requesting a variance pursuant of Mass General Laws, Chapter 40A, Section 10, and Section 9.2 of the Douglas bylaws for rear setback relief under Dimensional Regulations Appendix B to build a deck in a VR zone district. The property is located at 16 Brookside Drive, map 170, parcel 9. Any persons interested or wishing to be heard should appear at the time and place designated. And you can visit the douglas-mass.gov for the agenda and the Zoom information. A copy of the application is available for review during regular business hours in the Douglas Community Development Department, 29 Depot Street, Douglas, Mass. 01516. Do we have anybody here to represent the application? Come on up. You can grab any chair. You can both come up if you like. Yep. Just want to move the microphone closer to you. Just need to state, whoever's going to speak, state your name and your address for the minute taker, please.
Yep, so I'm Michael Crozier, 16 Brookside Drive. This is my wife, Jessica.
Yes. So you want to just briefly go over what you're intending to?
Sure. Yeah, so we're hoping to build a deck on the back of our house. As our house sits right now, and you can see from the certified plot plan that the closest corner to the rear property line is just over 20 feet. So we really can't add anything to the back of our house without being less than the required 20-foot relief. So we're requesting a 9-foot variance for the rear property line setback so that we could put a deck on the back of our house. On the opposite side of our property line is all woods. There's about 30 acres of woods there. So there's no neighbors that this will interfere with or cause any problems. We're well beyond the setback for any wetlands that are back there. So, yeah, I mean, pretty straightforward. You know, we're just looking for a request to build that deck.
Before I turn it over to the members of the board, just for clarification, on your certified plot plan, it's 9.1 feet, just because that's what you submitted. So
Yeah,
we can always
okay.
go further away than what you
Okay, yeah.
what
so
you
it's
submitted,
exactly
but
at
we
9.
can't go closer.
Okay.
Anybody have any comments on this application?
No.
No. Ronnie, no?
No.
Dan?
I was curious, did you find after he did
That's
the
fine.
study with the engineer, did he gain more land than he thought, or was it the same? I know it was
No, he was at
Yeah.
9 feet last time he came in on his sketch, so he was a pretty good guess.
Yeah, I mean, we have a rock wall that we have always assumed, based on all the other maps, was the property line, and that's exactly what it came out to.
yeah. I don't take issue with this, Mr. Chairman, co-chair. I mean, the lot size, we know where it is. It's up in development, of course, off a railroad. I don't take too many issues with this.
Yeah. Dan, you have anything to add?
No, I'm good with it. What shows on the certified plot plan is good with me.
Yeah. Just for the record, anybody watching or listening to the meeting at some point, there is nobody in attendance, so I'm going to assume that nobody has any comments from the audience. So I would look, if we don't have anything else to add, I would look to close the public hearing on this.
So moved.
So moved.
All right, I have a motion to close. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second. A motion made by John Bombara and seconded by Jim Palmer. Any further discussion? Don't hear any, so all in favor?
Aye.
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 Because,
Aye.
yeah, go ahead, Dan.
No, aye.
Yeah,
You just vote.
so, yeah, I thought you were going to start with the roll call vote. So because we have two members remote, we need to do a roll call.
Aye, Dan Heaney.
Aye, Jim Palmer.
John Mara.
Hi, Ron Forget.
All right, Mike Fitzpatrick. So you're all set to go. So what's going to happen is
Wait a minute, we didn't vote on,
Oh.
we closed the public hearing, but we didn't vote on the setback.
yeah. Thanks for reminding me, John. My mind left the room for a moment. So do we want to enter into a decision on this?
Yes.
Yes. Can I have a motion for that, please?
Motion to approve the, Michael on, 16 Brookfield Drive, case number 2023-06. And the only thing, whatever's on the plan stays.
Yeah, as submitted, yeah. You
As
want,
submitted.
so the plan was drawn by Real Map Info LLC out of Marlboro, Mass. The plan number is, let's see if I can find it on here somewhere. Well, the plan is dated 3/13/2023.
That's the one.
That's the one.
There is one math number down there.
Yeah.
It's 37658.
That's his license. That's his license, right?
That's his license number.
Yep.
So anyways, the plan that we have, it was stamped in by the Community Development on March 23rd, 2023.
Yep.
So,
Yeah. Sounds good to me.
so we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Aye.
Aye.
Want to start it off, Dan?
Aye, Dan Heaney.
Aye, Jim Palmer.
Hi, Ron Forget.
Mike Fitzpatrick, aye. John?
All right.
All right. Now you're all set. So what's going to happen is, as soon as this decision is typed up, you'll be notified, and then you'll have 20 days from when it's stamped in with the town clerk for the appeal period, and then you can move forward with it.
Okay,
So it's all approved, you're good to
Okay.
go, but you have to wait until, that's what we just signed, all these decisions from the last time, so they get signed in. Tomorrow, they'll get stamped in by the town clerk, and then these people will get notified, your process will be the same.
okay, so the variance has been approved, right?
Been approved, but
But-
it's not official because you don't have
Okay,
a signed copy that's stamped in.
okay. So is this waiting for the stamped copy? Is that part of the 100 days that,
No, that's 100 days for us to make a decision.
okay,
So this can be anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks by the time town council will get it back to us.
okay,
Once it comes back, we sign it at our next meeting. Sometimes we come in ahead of time, we'll get notified. If it comes in 2 weeks, we get notified, we'll come sign them in the office, get stamped in with the town clerk, you'll be notified, and then the 20-day appeal period starts from the day the town clerk stamps it in.
okay,
Yep.
And then he'll have to record the decision, Mike, before he can get a building permit.
Yep.
okay,
You record it at the registry of deeds.
okay. So we do that?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so,
We just wait to hear.
all right, so yeah, we just wait to hear back from you guys?
Yes, the Community Development Department will notify as soon as we have it back.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, very good.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right, thanks a lot.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Good luck, Mike.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
Good catch, John.
Trying to give away the store, that's not what we're trying to do.
Excuse me, Chair.
Yes.
This is Pat Aldrich from Cable. I'm just addressing the Zoom issue,
Yes.
if you don't mind.
No, go ahead.
It looks like they added some sort of verification code. I just signed into my personal account, and Zoom is sending out a weird like identification code that you have to add. But then once you do that, as long as Zoom's signed in, you should be able to use the link from the website like usual, get right into the meeting. So if the folks that are on the phone just want to make sure their Zooms are signed in on their device,
Yeah.
do that verification code. That wasn't something we did, that was something Zoom did, so I apologize.
Nope, that's fine. Yeah, Dan was just on it recently for another board. He had no issues, and then he went to go on tonight and it kicked them out.
Yeah, they didn't notify us that they were gonna be doing that, so it's just some weird code they're doing now.
Yep.
Yeah, Patrick, I just got something that just came up with it. It says incorrect email and password. Enter and sign in the information. Request an email. That's what I'm going to click on. I guess I'm going to get something also. Or should I wait?
Well,
I'm not sure.
you can do it at any time, so then you already be signed up. So you don't necessarily
Yeah.
have to go into a meeting, just go through the process to get it
Authenticated.
authenticated, thank you. And then you'll be ready for any other subsequent meetings. Yeah, I wouldn't bother doing it tonight because we only have,
Oh, gosh, no. Okay, I see what you mean.
we only have one thing to talk about after this. There is
Yeah.
no minutes to approve, we don't have anything in our packet.
There's a bunch of minutes to approve.
Well, I don't have them.
Okay. I wrote them all down. I'm going like, they're okay with me.
Okay,
All right,
so
well, you guys-
so you can hold that motion for the next meeting. Thank you, Pat.
You're right. If you check your email, your
No
mommy
problem.
got these, by the way. She just sent them to you.
Yeah, I use a crazy thing called a folder, so.
So you're going to check and read them.
Anyways, moving on. We have some information. I'm gonna look for the assistant of our building commissioner. We have two different things in here, a daily report and a declaration of trust from North Village condominiums. Could you bring us up to speed as to what this stuff is?
Okay, at the last meeting, a request was put in to find out with regards to the transfer of control for the North Brown Condominium Association with regards to their trust. So I had Neil Rybicki go through all the information to find out when the North Brown Trust takes over, meaning the condo association trust, takes over from the contractors. They don't receive control of that until completion of the last phase of the project. So
So the developer maintains,
the developer maintains the association, is in charge of the association through the end of the project, basically. And then there was also a clause in there with regards to, I know in the original plans that came through, or decision that came through, they had the ability to be able to expand on that North Brown property if the contractor so desired, meaning if they could find more properties or whatever. That actually expires at 75% completion of the project.
yeah.
So that's their limitation as far as to be able to expand. So they can't get to the end phase, last 2 units, and say, oh, by the way, we're gonna add another 100 units off the backside. It's too late at that point.
So is it at the completion of the third phase that they have to post a bond?
At the completion of the third phase or the start of the fourth phase
Okay,
is when they need to post their bond for the road work complete, for the site completion,
okay.
meaning road work, sidewalks and such.
Anybody have any questions on that, on those two things, the trust and the bond posting?
No, I actually, Ken, I read all of that, and I was kind of impressed with the writing, but again, it's still, I don't want to say this, it still could be picked apart because there should be a time set on it from the day he starts building until he ends, but that's in the contract. It's obvious we can't do anything about it, but I know you've been in touch with the people that were up on that hill, and they wanted to take it over, of course. You're going to get that regards to that, am I not? Am I correct?
I can get back in touch with that gentleman who came in with the request and his questions and all that, and they didn't want to take it over, they thought they were gonna be forced to take it over.
Oh, I see.
So they thought it halfway through the project, it was their obligation to take over the condominium trust or association, and that's not
Yeah.
true.
I'm sorry, I was under the wrong impression. I thought they were looking to take it over because they had concerns about the road and stuff.
Yeah, no, it was the other way around. They didn't want to have the responsibility of taking it over with concerns about the road and stuff, that they were going to inherit something that would never get completed.
Yeah,
So with this document that Mr. Rybicki gave me, it's stating that, no, they don't take it over, they don't send it over to them until completion of the final phase. And then the other caveat to it was the fact that at 75% completion of the entire project is their limitation to be able to expand on the project.
okay. Understood.
All right.
Anything on the daily report?
The daily report, I mean, I keep watching it, I keep talking to them, I'm trying to make sure that they stay up to date with things, as far as, completions of their drainage easements and stuff, that's still an ongoing thing, due to the fact of the siltation problems that they continue to have while they're trying to do completion on Nautical Way. So I just keep after them to make sure that they do the due diligence to maintain the flows, keep the water where it's supposed to be going. I haven't confronted them about the potholes, other than the gentleman's driveway. And he said as soon as they have the availability to get asphalt, they were gonna be going in there and doing some patching. So I know the main entrance road coming in has some areas of concern where the sub-base is breaking up and that needs to be replaced. There was some issues with runoff on the backside of the Cistern Road. I asked them with regards to that, and they said as soon as it's a stable growing season, they're gonna get back in there. And even though they didn't produce the rut setter down there, they were gonna patch them and reseed it. The main project where they're working on Nautical Way is progressing. I believe almost every unit, I want to say there's only one single unit that isn't sold on that phase right now. I just did a final inspection on 8 Nautical Way on Tuesday. So that's another one that's going to be getting occupied. So that gives 2 on that Nautical Way that are occupied at this point. That's about all I have on that. If anybody has any questions.
No,
It sounds like they're progressing quite well.
Yeah, they're going pretty good, and I asked Mr. Rybicki, what did I see him? I saw him Tuesday, and I says, how you guys doing with the sales? Are you still selling units? He says, well, we haven't sold any. He said he could have had one sold this week if it was complete. Other than that, he hasn't had a lot of new sales yet.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have a copy of the pictures, but in the pictures, photograph 5, 6, and 7 is the entrance road going in.
Right.
So I can see in photograph 5, there's a fairly large asphalt patch. In photo 6, is that asphalt that's in that, or is that concrete?
That's, I think that was a concrete patch that was put in there that's breaking out again.
Yeah, well, my concern is but is this patch going to be, these patches going to be suitable? Why is this breaking down like this?
This is only the sub-base in here?
I understand that,
It
but the
is.
water's going to get in there and cause
Right.
havoc with the
So-
base material, and then
Right.
your top coat's only as good as what your base is, so.
He's supposed to be, as soon as it's available to get asphalt, going in and patching all the areas in there.
So they're
along
going to
with the
make sure
driveway
that
at
it's not
19.
filled in with silt or something, it's going to have a decent base in there before they patch it?
Yeah.
Will they allow you
If
to
I-
see that before they patch it?
Well, I can make a recommendation that.
I just want to make sure it's patched properly, because once they're done, all these people are going to inherit this road coming in and out of there, and that's,
Well, he got potholes like that, and the road is all cracking up. That's got to be all
Something's
dug up and...
it seems like something's going on.
Be done over, so, let him patch the holes now, and I don't know when that's going to be done, or when it should be done.
Well, this sub-base has been on this entranceway since the beginning of the project.
Yeah.
What's that been, 7 years or whatever?
Yeah, well,
They're not
yeah,
designed
yeah.
to be there to the surface.
No.
So I'm sure they're gonna have problems like that. And, I mean, I can talk with Leonard Engineering, who's going up there, and request that they make sure they're available when that gets patched.
Yeah.
To make sure it's a proper patch, I mean, if that's what you want.
Dan, how do you feel about having Leonard Engineering actually giving us a recommendation whether or not it gets patched or tore out and replaced, as Ronnie may have suggested?
No, I'm not making a
No,
suggestion.
may have, I said.
No, I don't mean, as far as I'm concerned, the way this is, it's just got to be patched.
Oh, just got to be patched?
Just got to be patched
All right.
till it gets,
Well, until it gets done, but I
Yeah.
mean, for the final part, I don't mean take it out now, but at the end, is this going to be suitable for the top coat? That's all I would be.
Could I make a
concerned about.
recommendation? That before they do their final paving in there,
Yeah,
that a complete survey be done on,
just to make sure that it's a good
make
base
sure
for
that-
the top
Right.
coat. That's all I care about. I'm not looking to make them do it.
no.
Just to make sure that we use the engineering company to give us a recommendation.
Because you don't want this to,
I don't want to see them get
the
stuck with
frost
a
comes up
mess.
and it
Yeah.
breaks, you ain't got no
Right.
base.
so I know with regards to the entranceway, they're gonna have to do some pretty major work on that anyways, because that riprap in the center was never approved.
No, that was.
So that's gotta be taken out, so just that in itself, and then you've got catch basins that the concrete is cracking around, those frames have gotta be elevated up to the finished surfaces. So I don't think at the end of this project, they're just gonna be able to go in and run a coat of pavement over it and say, we're done.
Right, okay. I just want to make sure that the residents aren't stuck with a mess, that's all.
Yep.
Okay, moving on.
If we had Leonard's professional opinion on it, that would be helpful.
Right.
And I don't know if you could pave over some of those cracks. If they're major cracks, then the top coat's gonna crack
Yeah,
very
Yeah, something's going on if it's cracking like that, but it could be from the amount of large trucks that they have going up and down that.
true. Yeah.
yeah, it is what it is.
For 7
Yeah.
years.
Construction's going on.
Yeah, no, I'm not looking to have anything done with the construction phase, but when it's at the end of it,
So-
make sure it's done properly.
I would recommend before they do their final coats, and even if it's brought into the bonding part of doing their final top coats in there, that it get a full engineer review and survey on it to find out weak points that need to be addressed more intently than just putting a top coat on it.
Right. But in the interim, it would be nice to see them put a little patch in that pothole so it doesn't get worse.
So they were just waiting for asphalt to open up.
And for the last 3 or 4 weeks, I've been watching the town use their hot box to do it around town, so I think there's asphalt out there.
There. Go ahead, John.
Well, we had talked about that center aisle going down the road. You just made a statement that it was never approved. I thought he had proved that.
Supposed to be grass.
Now, I don't know if you were on or not, some years ago.
No.
In regards to.
Right.
I'm sorry, what it was, I think it was the stone wasn't approved.
The stone one.
They have taken and filled the center of that road in with riprap that's anywheres from 4+ of riprap in there, that when they plow that road, that riprap gets pulled out into the roadway and it becomes a hazard to
Yeah.
people going in and out. I checked as far as I could check with anything that may or not have been approved, all the way down
That was
to
never-
finding some old documentation from Bill Cundiff, the engineer and stuff. That was never approved to be a final fit.
No.
That I can find for that roadway going in. The original
wasn't.
plans show a greenery going down through the center, and it's not as wide as what they have there. Also, it shows Cape Cod berm going down either side of the greenery. So they don't have any of that there. They have I want to say a slight Cape Cod berm on the outside edges. I don't even think they have that at this point. So that's all, as far as I can see, all got to be put to where it's supposed to be on the drawings, unless they can show me documentation saying that it was approved and signatures, but I haven't found anything.
I can tell you for a fact, and Dan should be able to back me up on this, and John should remember, we never voted to change it from grass to stone in the center.
No.
It's come up in discussions before.
It came up, and it was a pushback, but I mean, it's so long ago, that's why I'm questioning it now, you know, so.
Right.
I spoke to the former town engineer, and he said that he never agreed to that either, so.
No, we didn't as a board because we've been on it since they started that project up again.
Yeah,
Right.
we have been, you're right, we have been on the board.
Yep.
And yeah, you're right.
Yep.
So I can make a note that, you know, on final phase, and I can bring it back up in front of the board with you guys before bonding takes place as to what wants to be covered and what engineering reviews want to be done and all that, and we can make sure we can capture that in the bonding.
Yeah. And if they can get that pothole done as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have a
Agreed.
conversation with them this week with regards
Because
to.
there's only one vehicle width to get out of there, so it's right in the travel zone, so every time
Yeah,
somebody
yeah.
up and down,
I mean,
it's just a nuisance.
it just seems kind of silly to me when you got a pothole there, fix the damn thing and get it,
Yeah, anything,
yeah,
just put
and
something,
get it over with. It shouldn't be taking half an hour to decide something.
an act of Congress to do. All right, I think that's,
Repaired ASAP.
what's that?
The pothole should be repaired as soon as possible.
Yes, yep.
Those people have to deal with that every day, going to and from work.
Correct.
I will have a conversation with Neil Rybicki tomorrow.
Sounds good.
So Dan, we signed all the vouchers that we have here. Not there, I mean the decisions, not vouchers. The decisions, we signed all duplicate copies. So that's all set. We have no minutes, and if we don't have anything else to talk about, I'd like to entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
So a motion been made by Ron Forget, seconded by Jim Palmer. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Go ahead, Dan.
Aye, Dan Heaney.
Aye, Jim Palmer.
Aye, Ron Forget.
Go ahead, John.
Bombara, aye.
Fitzpatrick, aye. Thanks, guys.